The Harlem Renaissance. You like jazz? Or how about a good book? Either way, the Harlem Renaissance was a great area for the arts of the U.S., and it all began in Harlem, a neighborhood in New York City that became a popular destination for African Americans during the 1900s, as many of them migrated north for work in urban areas. With a large number of African Americans, this neighborhood soon became a cultural and artistic center for blacks. It also became the home to many influential African Americans that were actors, writers, artists, musicians, and philosophers, all of which sought to celebrate African American experiences and history through their work. Let's meet some of the influencers of the Harlem Renaissance. W.E.B. Du Bois is a well-known influencer and activist of African American rights. Having earned his Ph.D. from Harvard in 1895, he is known for writing and publishing the book, The Soul of Black Folks, a collection of 14 essays about race. In 1903, Du Bois also opposed Booker T. Washington's Atlanta Compromise, an agreement which provided that Southern African Americans would work and submit to white political rule, while Southern whites guaranteed basic educational and economic opportunities for African Americans, which W.E.B. thought brought little value to the 14th Amendment and was an inferior strategy in getting more education and political equality. In 1909, he co-founded the organization NAACP, National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. This organization published many works done by African Americans. The spread and popularity of the African American culture would not have been possible without the NAACP. Du Bois died on August 27, 1963, one day before Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his I Have a Dream speech at the age of 95 in Ghana. Alain Leroy Locke, also known as the father of the Harlem Renaissance because he was a major supporter of African American artists. He earned his second bachelor's degree from Harvard University in the art field and later attended Oxford. He would then return to Harvard for his Ph.D. He would also be the first African American to win a Rhodes Scholarship. Locke used his influence to inspire young artists. He often told them to look to Africa for inspiration. Locke wanted blacks to be proud of their heritage. Unlike his contemporaries, Locke wanted artists to express themselves and their culture, but not necessarily push for equality. He had a theory that the concept of race should be based on culture, not heredity. On his own, Locke published works in nearly every field of the arts, thereby contributing to the artistic movement of the Harlem Renaissance as a whole. Jessie Redmond Fawcett, also known as the midwife of the Harlem Renaissance, was an African American editor, poet, novelist, feminist, and educator. Her work helped shape literature and social views. She portrayed accurate images of African American life. She also used her novels to discuss how women should attempt to balance careers and love. She was one of the first black women to attend Cornell University, where she earned her Bachelor of Arts degree in 1905. She would later receive a Master of Arts from the University of Pennsylvania in 1919. She would then become the literary editor for The Crisis, the official publication of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, in 1919. All these men and women changed the U.S. for the better by making the country more socially accepting of the African American culture.